Welcome back. Biden rising. The former vice president leads President Trump now by 6 points in a new national USA Today poll, Suffolk University poll. This coming amid new endorsements for Biden coming from House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, along with Howard Stern. Mattie Duppler is with us this morning. Mattie, what do you make of this? Do you feel the former VP trying to use this moment of crisis for political gain? Is he just gaining because people are tired of the president's press conferences? How do you read?
Well, good morning, Maria. I think that what we know right now is that 2 months from now, we could be in a completely different world. Just like today is completely different than it was 2 months ago. Certainly, voters are looking at the president's handling of coronavirus and what has happened as a result to the economy. As you mentioned earlier, we've had a couple of stumbles along the way, those PPP loans getting out the door. With states reopening now and the federal government, I think, doing a pretty good job putting out guidelines for states to follow, that shows a certain amount of leadership. What really matters is over the next couple of weeks and months, how confident people feel entering back into society, going back about their normal lives, and how the economy recovers as a result of that. I think if there's, a little bit of an upward glide to this reopening in the economy, voters will reward the president for that.
Kagan.
One other thing I'll just throw in here is that much of the concern among healthcare professionals, people even who I speak to in New York City, is a resurgence of the virus. And that will clearly play out in the presidential election. But to borrow something that Kat Temp said over the weekend on the Greg Gutfeld show, how strange is it that the less you see of Joe Biden, the more he rises in the polls? So people like not seeing him as often. So that's kind of upside down.
Meanwhile, this scandal, is it resonating? One of Biden's former Senate staffers, Tara Reade, who has accused the former vice president of sexual assault and retaliation, reportedly had her story corroborated by 2 more sources. The campaign is still denying these allegations, Dagan. Can the Biden camp, ignore these claims in the wake of Brett Kavanaugh and the other Me Too accusers? Do you think this becomes an issue?
They can ignore them as long as the mainstream media is still in. Let me rephrase that. I would say liberal-friendly media is in his camp and not covering it with the heft and zest and fervor and craziness that they did the Brett Kavanaugh allegations. So he, in many ways, is getting a pass from some members of the media.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we've got the food and